and welcome to Minimal Expectations. This episode we're going to be talking about the Railways Workshop.
Now, I'm a firm believer that every little railway needs a workshop to keep it running. So it was vital that I set mine up. This is why this is the first video that goes into one detail or other of this little horticultural tramway. The workshop, as you can see, has fairly good security. It's important to keep your tools nice and secure. And it also has a railway built into it. So this way I can keep my lawnmower on a little wagon, and it's very easy to get in and out. That means that the lawnmower and other garden equipment stored in there doesn't become a real hassle to get out of the way before it can be used as a workshop. It makes better use of this one space. I got permission from the landlord to put this up, and I'm going to have to take it with me when we leave. The workshop, I use it for everything from carpentry to turning to painting inside when the weather is poor. Here you can see me just wheeling out the lawnmower, and it couldn't be easier. I've still got a bit of work to do on it to make it a bit more user-friendly, but let's look at constructing the thing. So the first challenge was getting it through the door. This shed came from Tiger Sheds, and I think for the money they represent pretty good value. Certainly one of the best of the cheaper sheds available. It's mounted on battens, which are just float in a gravel bed, which we spread over the base there after having chipped away at some of the concrete. We then built three sides of the cube. Well, it's not a cube, is it? Some sort of pentagonal prism, I suppose.
Okay, right, we're going to move it
and then James and I moved it into position.
Gently now. Can you get back out again? We'll burn that bridge when we come to it. Oh God! Oh, who put that bloody hook there? Oh, it was me. Trousers are caught on. Okay. Right. And again. And again. Right. Well, I thought that went bloody well.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Done.
Try and get it a little bit more vertical.
Yeah.
But we're going to struggle because it can't get in that corner.
Well, hang on. This is the problem here.
It is, yes. If we
We just
can,
need to excavate the bricks that are holding it up.
yeah, because then we can drop its height and then we'll get more wiggle room horizontally.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Oh, that worked quite nicely.
Yeah. Shame about my arm though. It's alright. Hold on. Find it.
And after a little effort, the shed was in place. And all it really needed was that vivid orange that all of Tiger Sheds seem to come in, toning down with a rather elegant livery of LNER, cream and green.
Horticultural Tramway HQ is still being, the painting is just being finished off. And ta-da! Here's the lathe. But the benches don't fit in the way that I thought they would, so a bit more work to do. Now, I rather fear that the state of organisation in my little workshop is going to cause a few people some mental anguish. However, I'm not going to tidy it up just for the internet's sake. This is the mess that I work in. And it sort of works. I know it could be better, and I need to spend some time sorting one or two things out, but we'll touch on it. Well, starting from the top, storage of various materials in the apex of the roof. Long stuff extends all the way out and rests on the top of the door over here. And storage of misc, flammable items, and the power. Probably not the best place for that. Then the main event here at the back is the lathe. I've just been making up a crankshaft for the street organ, hence all of the nice little coils of swarf everywhere. This is a Vabeco D4000, and it does small jobs quite well. I really like the variable speed controller here, although because this isn't it doesn't know what back gear you've got it set in. It doesn't have any RPM. It's just 0 to 100, and then that all depends on the gear ratio that you give it with the belts. I've got a small 3-jaw chuck in at the moment, but I've got a 4-jaw chuck as well, which I often leave in after jobs and then curse as I have to centre everything. But changing the chucks isn't too bad. I'd really like to have one of those tool posts where you can adjust the height, because I'm sick and tired of using rulers and things as bits of shim, but there we go. Yeah, it can do screw cutting, though I've never used the automatic feed. There we go. I've got a oh dear me. I've got a vertical slide in case I want to use this as a mill, but I've never done that yet. Oh dear me, that is really heavy to do with one hand. Various cutting lubricants and actual lubricants I store around the back of the lathe. Again, probably shouldn't, but do. Yeah. Anyway, the toolboard, files and chisels, stapler and all sorts of things, nippy things, a few toolmaker's clamps, my trusty hammer, and various saws. Then there's the little cupboard of little bits and bobs, and I'm going to put up this supposedly a desk tidy, but I'm going to put up a couple of these things, what I have found, for storing my marking out equipment. Moving around, spanners on the wall, and this is a recent purchase. I'm super happy with this. So this is a die filer. As you can see, it holds a file and it moves up and down. But using this, I can set the bed at different angles. And the nice thing is that then I can file things with faces which are perfectly perpendicular to each other, and do that really quickly. And I can file up to a line. And also, if I want to make several components the same, I just clamp them up in a stack and use this. So this replaces a mill in some limited capacity. I can't fit a mill in here, but I can fit one of these, so that's nice. This arm here you can adjust as a hold down, because this thing is always wanting to pick up the pieces of material. So that's that. We've got a cord drill here in a drill press stand, and that's what I use for drilling holes if I don't use the lathe. Yeah, a shocking assortment of drill bits there. A few woodworking saws on here. I need to populate this board some more, and then a whole load of clamps there. The bench is a bench which I got when I was, I don't know, 6. And it's had feet extensions, and now it's sitting on top of another little bench thing to bring it up to height. It's really a children's bench, but the vices are really nice on it. Storage of bits and bobs, mainly for 5-inch gauge carriage and wagon building. We've got a metalworking vise here and a hand-powered grinder for shaping tools. This is the Tramway Workshop. It's very small, only 8 foot deep by 5 feet across. The door's not really high enough for me to go through, but there we are. And it sits in the corner of the garden and minds its own business.